All right, Bobbie, I think we're ready to get started.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna put myself on gallery. Awesome. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to an adapted seated yoga practice. So my name is Bobbie, and this little furry creature that I'm holding in my arms, his name is EB. And I just thought I'd reintroduce him quickly. Most of us are doing our practice from home. So of course, some of us have pets, and so pets are more than welcome. And occasionally you might see EB hop into the viewfinder. So I'm just gonna set him aside for now. We'll see what happens. And so delighted that you are here and that I have this opportunity to share this amazing practice. So I like to think of it as yoga, India's gift to the world. And so on that happy note, let's get started with an invitation to find a comfortable sitting position. So a centering practice, find a space where you're seated comfortably, but you're able to sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable. And then an invitation, if you'd like, to bring your hands into your heart space so your hands can rest at your heart or maybe palms together. Lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation just to take a few moments to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. So setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga class for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And so an invitation now to maybe close your eyes softly if that feels comfortable, or soft gaze downwards. And so ground down through your sits bones, maybe noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And so when you're ready, notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over your hips. Chin in, parallel with the floor. An invitation now to bring your awareness to your breath. And placing one hand on your yoga belly, maybe noticing that as we inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Maybe placing another hand at your heart space and noticing the pattern of movement of the breath between your abdomen and your upper torso. And then maybe changing placement of your hands. And now let's see if maybe we can invite our breath to be just a little bit longer than it was when we began. And paying particular attention to the exhale. So when we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. And so I'd like to encourage you today, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to this deep, easeful breath. If your eyes are closed, gradually blink your eyes. So we are falling awake and not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. So I'd like to introduce the idea of a topic today, or an intention. So I've chosen I am, I can, and I will. And so with that in mind, let's repose. So at this point, if it's possible, I'd like you to find a space where you are able to support your own spine. Come away from the back of the chair enough so that you feel that you're sitting forward on your sits bones. That said, if you need the back of the chair for support today, honor that. Sometimes I like to place a rolled up yoga mat along my spine. That can feel amazing. So yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so ground down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Spine is long, shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your head. And from here, I'd like to invite you to rub your palms together a little. So there is research that shows that our hands are not only connected to our heart, but to our mind as well. Take your hands apart, notice warmth, heat between your hands. And bring your palms together again. And as you're rubbing your hands together, I'd like you to notice where in your body you're holding expressing tension. And then see if you can take some of that loving energy from your hands and place them on that. So allow your body that loving energy from your hands. And rub your palms together again. This time as you're rubbing your hands together, maybe find a new place where you need a little extra TLC and place your hands there. Open to receive. Now take a moment, notice as your breath still long and smooth and easy. And so moving on, I'd like to transition into a warm-up, starting with our head. Bring your chin gently towards your chest. In your time, as you feel that you're ready, your neck is ready, turn a soft gaze looking up towards the ceiling. So this is a warm-up, of course, for the cervical area of our spine. As ready, finish up the movement, bring your head back to center. So you're still sitting up nice and tall, your breath is long and smooth and easeful. And from here, let's bring one ear towards the shoulder, and then move your head back and forth. So from side to side. As ready, finish up the movement that you're on, bring your head back center, and then an invitation to turn a soft gaze looking towards your shoulder. Only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then move your head from side to side. So as if nodding no. And bring your head back to center. So essentially, we've moved our neck through its 3 planes of movement. Now we're going to continue down along the spine with a movement called cat and cow. So I'm going to turn my chair sideways. So hopefully you get a better view of what's going on with the spine. So the area we're targeting is the thoracic area of our spine. So cat and cow. So when you're ready, begin by rounding your back. As you round your back, draw your chest in. So I like to place when I start, place my hands at my chest. So it's as if our sternum's moving towards the back of our ribs. And then on the inhale, arch your back, the sternum lifts, moves forward, open up your solar plexus. On exhale, round your back. And so you might notice that as you round your back, our hands naturally have a tendency to slide towards our knees. As we inhale, arching our back, hands sliding towards our hips. So an invitation to keep this warm up, your spine flowing. So move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that the movements and your breath become one. Finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side and then on your lap. Take a moment. From here, let's transition into reaching your hand towards the floor, towards the earth, as if you're reaching to pick something up. Keeping both sits bones on the chair. You can hold the opposite side of the chair if you like. And so we want our shoulder lined up with shoulder. If it's helpful, you can imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass. And so we'll move from side to side. So it might be helpful to, as you exhale, reach towards the floor. Inhale, come back center. Exhale, reach towards the floor on the other side. Or maybe today it just feels good to inhale to one side, exhale to the other. If you're congested or you have an obstruction, breathe in whatever way you can. So you might notice that as we warm up, perhaps the movements become more easeful. Maybe we're able to go a little bit deeper. When you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine. From here, we'll come into a twist. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come into the twist. So you're moving up from the base of your lumbar spine, one vertebrae at a time. Head turns last. And so let's explore moving dynamically. So twisting from side to side. So this is a gentle twist. We're not yet going to our full range of movement. As ready, finish up the movement that you're on. Come back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms wherever you like. And then take a moment or two and notice the effects of the movements. Have you noticing, has anything changed for you energetically since we began? And so from here, with hands resting where they are, tap your fingers. And then maybe explore tapping from your pinkies to your thumbs. Thumbs to pinkies. So these movements can be challenging. And so whatever movements we're able to make are great. We're strengthening those neural connections. And then when you're ready, maybe a little air piano. An invitation to stretch your palms and then make soft fists. Stretch your palms, make soft fists. So extension and contract. Extension and contract. Extension and contract. And now I'd like to invite you to rotate your wrists. And then see if maybe you can slow the movements down. So mindful movement. And rotate your wrists in the opposite direction. And imagine, if you'd like, that you're moving your hands through water. And then push your hands away. Pull your hands back. Push your hands away. Pull your hands back. So with this movement, not only are we getting into all the major joints in our arms, okay, so we're getting that synovial fluid, Mother Nature's WD-40, going into all the joints in our arms. We're also getting into that often tight area on the inside and outside of our shoulder blades. So it's like we're giving our back a little massage. Push your hands away, pull your hands back. And now from here, we're just going to jump right into yoga swim. So we'll start freestyle. Your arms can be as high or low as you like. And then how about backstroke? And breaststroke. And side stroke. Push. Other side. And how about we finish up with butterfly? Ooh. Okay. Come on out of the movement. And no doubt you feel a little more energized, I think. So let's repose. I'd like you to ground down through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Or ground down through your sits bones. Notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Spine is long, shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. So from here, I think I'd like to transition into a movement called Finding Our Balance. And so balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. So worth repeating, balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. If you know that balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have what you need to keep yourself stable in your chair. And so let's begin with an inhale, lengthening your spine. On an exhale, hinging from the hips, come forward. So you can hold on to the underside of the chair, have your hands at your hips. If you need a rolled blanket, rolled yoga mat along your belly, go for it. And we're not going into a deep forward fold here, just going forward, maybe about 20%. And then rock back up. So let's continue this gentle movement for a few more breaths, and this can be an interesting sensation to have if you practice it with your eyes closed. So if you feel stable in your chair. Balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. Then when you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Take a moment, and from here, again, with your hands resting at your hips or holding the chair, circle your heart forward. So you're keeping your sits bones on the chair. So your circles might be a little smaller or larger than mine. Just an invitation to move in your own time and rhythm. So we're getting into our lower back and our hips a little more here. And bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. And then particularly an invitation to take your awareness to the space behind you. And moving away from me to we, to trust that we are being supported. And then rotate in the opposite direction. And slowly come on back to stillness. Relax your arms by your sides and on your lap or wherever feels most comfortable. And take a moment to let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And so when you're ready, an invitation now to reach your arm up, in line with your shoulder. If that feels a little too intense, maybe explore backing off a little. Turn your palm face up. With a soft bend in your elbow, extend your arm away from you. Bring your arm back center. Palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open, and moving with grace and ease, extend your arm away from you. Bring your arm back center, palm face down, release. So let's continue the movement, but this time, if it feels okay for your neck, when you bring your arm out to the side, I'd like you to turn a soft gaze looking past your middle finger. If it bothers your neck, just keep a soft gaze forward. And so here we go. Reach up, spiral your palm open, soft gaze forward or looking past your middle finger. Extend your arm away from you. Bring your arm back center, palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. Exhale, extend your arm away from you. Inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. Nice. So maybe shoulders back and down, or maybe fidget. So from here, let's come into a side bend. So of course you're sitting up tall. Take hold of the underside of the chair, and I'll give you 3 choices for arm placement with your extended arm. So it might be that you place your hand at your hip. Maybe take your hand to your shoulder. Alternatively, it might feel good to reach up and over. So you choose. Think of it as a buffet, whatever works best for you. So always begins with sitting up tall, hold the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open, soft bend in your elbow, reach up on an inhale. On exhale, come into your side bend. Turn a soft gaze down towards the floor to release your neck, and then breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And come out of the pose on this side. Take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open, inhale, reach up to your place, and exhale, come into the side bend. Make sure both sits bones stay on the chair. Turning a soft gaze down towards the earth, towards the floor. Come out of the pose on this side. So let's come into this one more time on each side. This time I want you to notice if you feel a subtle shift. So take hold of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. Inhale, reach up, exhale, bend. Come out of the pose on this side, take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open, reach up to the sky, exhale, bend. And come out of the pose on this side. And just take a moment. Maybe notice how's your breath. Any subtle sensations. And so from here, I'd like to come into a practice called sun breath. So meditation on the heart. So it's a gentle heart opener, opens up our lungs. And so bring your hands together in prayer pose, palms together, resting at your heart space. Maybe it feels better just to rest your hands at your yoga belly. On inhale, extend your arms up and away. So your arms can be as high or low as you like. Maybe your arms are higher than mine, maybe lower. I feel good with my arms a little lower than my shoulders. And then take your hands back to your heart space or your yoga belly. Inhale, extend your arms up and away. So this time as you bring your hands back, I'd like to invite you to make soft fists. So this can be good if you have arthritis in your hands. And then bowing our head towards our heart, pardon me. This is a little nerve flossing for our neck. So let's continue this gentle heart opener. And so if you'd like, you can imagine the sun at your heart center. On your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light that's always inside us. Bring it back inside. Inhale, extend your arms up and away. This time on your exhale, let's make a bumblebee sound. So a humming breath. Inhale. Inhale. So I notice a bumblebee breath. So yogic breathing technique lengthens the exhale. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart center. And maybe take a moment or two to feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Yes. Okay, so moving on, let's repose. So I'd like to invite you to make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor, on your footrest or foot plate. Sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine long, shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And so from here, I think we're ready to transition into modified seated sun salutation. And so sun salutations are strengthening, heating, and I think they're lots of fun. So here we go. Begin in sitting up nice and tall. Come into seated mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart space. So hands can be resting at your heart or palms together. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up to the sky. So up as high as feels comfortable. So lift your heart, bend from above your shoulder blades. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Tuck your chin in slightly. As ready, come on back up into a lunge. So for part of this, you might be visualizing the movement. So remember, visualization is powerful. So if possible, bring your leg under the front of the chair, toes tucked under. You can add your arm, your hand can be at your hip, goalposts or reaching up along your ear. Float your arm down, step your foot forward, hinging from the hips. So I'm going to teach two variations of this. So downward facing dog, the first version, we're going to place our forearms on our lap. Lengthen your spine, tuck your chin in, push your sits bones back. Baby cobra, place your hands on your thighs, lower, and then lift your heart, your throat. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog, modified, forearms on your lap, lengthen your spine, chin in. Come back up into a lunge on the other side. So if possible, step your leg under the front of the chair. Add your arms, so hand can be at your hip in goalposts or up along your ear. Float your arm down, step your foot forward, hinging from the hips, spiral your palms open, forward fold, and then reach up. And then our hands come back to the heart. So let's come into a few more rounds. So sit up tall, come into seated mountain. Bring your hands to your heart space. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up and overhead, so as high, so as comfortable. Lift your heart. So gentle back bend from above our shoulder blades. Hinging at the hips, come into a forward fold. Tuck your chin in slightly. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come on back up. We'll come into lunge. Let's start on the other side this time. Tuck your leg under the front of the chair if possible. Alternatively, visualizing the movement. Bring your arm to your place if you'd like to add your arm. Float your arm down, step your foot forward. This time for downward facing dog is an alternative to arms on our lap. For forearms, I'd like you to reach your arms on a diagonal. So your arms reach or your hands reach towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Push your sits bones back in the chair. Baby cobra, place your hands on your thighs, lower your upper body, and then lift your heart, your throat. Downward facing dog, arms on a diagonal. Come on back up into a lunge on the other side. Tuck your leg under the front of the chair. Visualize the movement. Bring your arm up to your place. Float your arm down, step your foot forward, hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold, and reach up and over. And then bring your hands back to the heart. So I'm thinking let's do another round or two. So sit up tall, seated mountain. Take your hands to your heart center, bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, forward fold, chin in. Come back up into a lunge, step your leg under the front of the chair. Reach your arm up to your place. Float your arm down, step your foot forward. Hinging from the hips, so you have a choice. You can do downward facing dog with forearms resting on your lap, perhaps reaching your arms on a diagonal. You choose. This is your yoga practice. Hands on your thighs, lower your upper body, baby cobra, lift your heart, your throat. Downward facing dog. Hands reach towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Come on back up into a lunge on the other side. Reach your arm up to your place. Float your arm down, step your foot forward. Hinging from the hips, spiral your palms open, forward fold, then reach up into a gentle back bend, and hands come back to the heart. Yes. So one more round, arms by your sides, spiral your palms open, take your hands to your heart center, bow your head to your heart, reach your arms up and overhead, lift your heart, bend from above your shoulder blades, hinging from the hips, forward fold, tuck your chin in slightly. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come into a lunge, tuck your leg under the front of the chair, add your arm. Float your arm down, step your foot forward, hinging from the hips, downward facing dog. So it could be arms on a diagonal or forearms resting on your lap. Lengthen your spine, push your sits bones back. And so come on back up. Lunge on the other side, step your leg under the front of the chair. Bring your arm to your place, so it's hand at the hip. Goalposts are reaching up. Float your arm down, step your foot forward. Hinging from the hips, spiral your palms open, forward fold, then reach up and over, gentle back arch. And then hands come back to the heart. Whew. So welcome down off the mountain. Take a moment or two, notice how you feel. Yeah. Okay. So from here, I think I'd like to share a seated twist. So lots of variations on how we can do a seated twist. So I think I'll share one I haven't shared for a while. If possible, bring your feet just a little wider than outer hip bone distance. It's okay if your toes are turned out a little. And then when you're ready, bring your hands together at the heart. And we're going to inhale, lengthen our spine. And on the exhale, bring your elbow point to your thigh. Lift your opposite elbow, reaching up towards the ceiling, the sky. And if it feels okay for your neck, turn a soft gaze up. When you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Press into the palms of your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let's bring our elbow point to our thigh on the other side. Lift your elbow, reaching up towards the sky. Turn a soft gaze up if that feels okay for your neck. And come on back, center. And release. So let's rock and roll. Reach your arms up to the sky and twist. So move in your own time and rhythm. So make sure that you go into the twist on your exhale. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. And so from here, we need to come into a counter pose to realign our spine. Side bends, twists, pretty intense spinal movement. So we need to realign our spine. And we can do that simply with a seated forward fold. And so take hold of the underside of the chair, lengthen your spine, hinging at the hips. Come forward with a flat back. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck, and then breathe into your lower back. Or you might imagine that your lungs are in your lower back. So energy flows where our thoughts go, where our breath goes. And then slowly come out of the forward fold. So you can push down through your inner heels. So you might be visualizing pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come back up with a flat back. Nice. So I think I'll just teach another pose or two before we come into, I thought today I'd share a yogic breathing technique. We'll have our short guided meditation and transition into your final relaxation. And so let's come into eagle pose. And so when you're ready, of course, you're sitting up nice and tall. I'd like you to bend your elbows for this version. Palms face each other. Reach across, cup your elbow point. Draw your arm into the midline. Let that same shoulder soften away from your ear. Maybe it feels okay to reach up a little higher. And then I want you to imagine the intensity of an eagle eye. And release. So let's practice this on the other side. Elbows are bent. Cup your elbow point. Draw your arm into the midline. That same shoulder soften away from your ear. Maybe reaching up a little higher. Eagle pose. And release. So extend your arms out to the sides, spiral your palms open, cross one arm over the other, take hold of your shoulders. See if you can walk your fingertips back a little more, tuck your chin in. And this is an I love me bear hug. And remembering which arm is on top, extend your arms out to the side again. And then cross the opposite arm over. Take hold of your shoulders or wherever you can reach comfortably. Then see if you can walk your fingertips back a little, tuck your chin in. Bear hug number 2. I love me. And come out of the pose. So from here, we'll come into a yogic breathing technique called 1-to-1 ratio. So this is when our inhales and our exhales are the same quality and duration. And so find a comfortable sitting position. And so what I'm going to share with you is I'm going to cue you with a count of 3 on the inhale, count of 3 on the exhale. So here we go. Now, and if you can, breathe in through your nose. Otherwise, of course, if you have an obstruction or you're congested, or even if the breathing technique doesn't feel good for you, come back to your natural rhythm. So here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. 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 So let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And maybe noticing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And maybe notice if you notice a subtle shift in your energy. And then come into a comfortable sitting position for a short guided meditation. Yeah, so if you'd like, feel free to put a blanket on your lap. Make sure that you're warm and comfortable. So you're sitting comfortably, however, you're still sitting up nice and tall. And, or pardon me, I should say you're still alert. And so I'd like to invite you to place your palms face down on your lap. Draw your hands in towards your hips. Look down and into your heart. See what you can see. And then breathe into your heart. I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So we'll just sit in silence for a moment or two with a gentle reminder. Breathing. So come into whatever comfortable position you'd like for your final relaxation. If you're a wheelchair user and you have the ability to recline in your chair, go for it. If you happen to be sitting in a regular chair, feel free to place it against the wall and maybe some support for your head and your neck. And so find that lovely reclined or seated position. Eyes are closed, softly focused inward or soft gaze downwards. Rest your hands, palms face up or down as desired. So soft palms, soft yoga belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow the breath to breathe itself. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. And let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows, wide forehead. Silently, if you'd like, on inhale, say let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. It's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our yoga belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. Without changing anything, and bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. Our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Your eyes are closed. Gradually blink your eyes open. So I'd like you to take a look around the space that you're in. Name 3 objects that you see to bring us back. And so thank you, everyone that's joined me today. Notice how you feel before and after the class. Questions or feedback, always love to hear from you. So my lovely tech hosts will open that up for us for a few moments. And so the teacher me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. Thank you. There she is. Oh, right on. So nice to see you, love.
I've
Down your way.
been trying to not fall asleep when you say we're falling awake, not asleep. That's a dilemma for me. Every time you say it, it's like I'm hypnotized and I fall asleep every time.
Well, I've been told that my voice is like a drug. So if you fall asleep, no worries. No judgment, just means you're tired.
I sat in an MRI machine for 2 hours and all I thought about was your voice, breathing, and I was just saying, you're falling awake. It was lovely.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you, love.
Yeah, your sun salutations were very loved. You're really good at what you do. I appreciate you.
Thanks for the feedback.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bobbie.
You're welcome, Ken. Thanks. Lovely to see you.
Enjoy the sun.
Rock on. Yes, for sure. I think that's all she wrote.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much, Bobbie. I guess I'll see you next week then.
Yeah. So
I'll
one
be on.
week and then Custer's.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so 1 more week and then Calgary's back. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, love. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.